any pivot table that you create, it is better to give it a name. Just like we give a name to the table in the same place up here on the pivot table analyze ribbon, we get an option to give a name to the pivot table. Okay, here we are looking at data at product level, right? So let's say this is product pivot. Okay, or pivot product, any meaningful name that will help you understand what is the data in there. Okay. Next, generate pivot data. All right. We will talk about that in a while. What was the agenda? Sorry. We saw how to create pivot table, working with pivot tables, like what all options we have. Let's see summarizing the data. So the moment I put profit in here, it is showing me the sum of profit. That is perfectly fine. I will remove the subtotals for now. Okay, and I'm quite happy about it. Now let's say I would like to show the sales also. In here, I would like to show the sales. So all I need to do is take sales and drop it in the values box. So there's another column showing sales. Let me quickly format it by going to value field settings, number. I'll format it as a currency. This is how I want the negative values to come. Dollar symbol without decimal places. Okay, so this is a sample. This is how it will appear. Okay, so sales is also formatted. Now let's say I would like to indicate the budget profit. And I want budget profit to come before sales. It should be profit followed by that budget profit, sales followed by that budget sales. So it's all about rearranging the members down here in the values box. So these are the 4 columns that I'm interested in and they've come. Okay. Now you can see the names that Tableau has given to the columns. Sum of profit, sum of budget profit. Budget profit is nothing but the target. All right. Sum of budget sales and all. We don't feel it's not necessarily that we are stuck over here. We are not stuck with these names. Okay, we can go ahead and change them. Let me change the names. Okay, I was trying to format it. All right. So we are not necessarily stuck with the names that Excel has given here by default. You can change it simply by clicking in the box and typing in whatever other name you might want to give. I just want to call this profit. Or maybe I want to call it actual profit. Okay. And this one I want to call it target profit. This one I would like to call actual sales. And down here I would like to call it target sales. Okay, so we can do that. We can go ahead and even rename the field simply by clicking over there and changing the name. This also you can, go ahead and change it if you want. Okay, grand totals, something like that. At column level. Okay. Whatever you feel is more meaningful, you can go ahead and simply click in there and type it. I think better to leave it as grand total. That was more meaningful. Okay. What else with respect to the design part, the structuring part? I think this should be fine. Now let me create another pivot table. I'll go back to my coffee chain data. Okay, here is coffee chain data. I came back to the actual table, which has all the data in it. And I'll just go to the insert button and insert a pivot table. I want a pivot table to work with the entire data in this table, which I already named as coffee chain data. Otherwise, it would have shown the range, okay, the cell references. And I want it to be created in a new sheet. So once I click on OK, you can see it got created. Let me move it out here. I will rename it to pivot table number 2. Okay. And by default, as you can see, the pivot table starts in the cell A3. It happens by default. Let me slightly increase the overall size as we always do. Increase the column width. Okay. Now, for various products, okay, I would like to look at different measures. So, or I would like to look at different ways in which I can present one measure. Summarize the data in different ways. So far, by default, we saw that it is sum of profit. Okay. So I will just take profit here. This is the overall profit. Now, this is sum of profit. So I'll just call it total profit. Okay. I would like to show the average of profit. How to show the average profit? We can drag profit again into this box, and to change the aggregation. Okay, to change the aggregation, I will click here on this information symbol I, which pulls up a window for me. How would you like to summarize the sum of profit data that is being presented here? I would like to show the average of the data in the profit column. It gave us by default the summation of the data in the profit column for each and every product. Now I would like to look at the average. Okay, so you can see this is the average profit. I'll just call it average profit. Okay. Now let's say I would like to figure out what is the minimum profit. Given any product, what is the minimum value, minimum profit that it has made? So what to do? Drag profit again into this values box, and this time change it. How to change it? We can click on this I symbol over here. Okay, or the other way of changing it, apart from clicking here and we get the pivot table field from where we are changing it, right? The other option is you can go into the pivot table itself, right click on it and select the option summarize values by. Okay, so when we go to summarize values by, there is max. So I'll go there to max, which means it's going to show me the maximum of profit. So this product at row level, when you check, it has made a maximum profit of 199, meaning there is some transaction for that product. There is some transaction where the profit was 199. You can see the profit from different rows, right? Let's just hide these. Okay, you can right click and hide data if it's not required. This is the product. Okay, and these are the different profits that it has made. So we can see in one transaction, it made a profit of 94. Another transaction was a profit of 34. Here is a loss of $2, so on and so forth. So when we look at all the transactions for this particular product, somewhere the maximum profit out of all these, the maximum profit is identified and given 199. Okay, so I'll rename this to max profit. Now I would like to check the minimum profit. So what to do? Simple. Bring profit again into the values box. And this time I will right click here and say that I would like to summarize the values by min. So it is going to show me what is the minimum profit that the business has made. So this product has actually experienced a loss. One particular transaction or one particular time when it was sold, it made a loss of $192. Okay. So again, if we go back here, this is transactional data. Okay, row level data, record level, whatever data we have. And what we are doing is we are looking at the minimum profit. Can't we see it directly from here? We can do it, but that would be a time consuming and a tedious process. So first I will go ahead and look at data only for that product, Amaretto. That is one thing. So the rest of the data will be gone. Let me do a command shift down and show you. See, only this product we have. Then I'll have to go to the profit column and I will have to sort it. You see, when I sort it, you can notice the least profit is 192. Again, I'll have to go and sort it in the reverse order. The highest profit is 199. Directly in our table also, we can figure out these things, but you can see that it is a time-consuming process. It involves multiple steps. Whereas when I do it in a pivot table, I'm getting it much more easily. Now, for one product, I had to do so much. If I have to see for another product, I have to go and repeat it. Now, I'll uncheck that, select latte. So it's going to show me the data for latte. Now, for latte, what is the maximum profit? I'll have to go there and sort it in descending order, 233. And what is the minimum profit? I'll do a reverse sort, $22 of loss. Okay. So you can see 233 and $22 loss, max and min. Instead, when you create a pivot table, right, rather than analyzing the data as is, if we represent that data in a pivot table format, you see how much more flexible or how much more easier it is for us to summarize the data. Okay, I hope now you're all able to understand the significance of why do we need a pivot table in the first place. It helps you analyze your data in a much more efficient manner. It helps you get answers instantly to any question that you have in your mind. Just drag and drop the fields in columns, rows, values, job done.